You ready, Jeff?
I'm ready.
It's all yours.
Okay, we're going to start with actually I'm doing 3 flavors today, and for the first time we've been doing this 10, 12 years or whatever.
Oh, at least.
For the first time, I put some thought into picking my flavors. And I decided we'll do apple pie for the season. It's the fall, even in Florida. So we'll do apple pie. We'll start with that. And then we're going to go to another seasonal one coming up. We'll prepare you for the winter season and do candy cane ice cream, my all-time favorite ice cream. Not that it matters or you care. And then for the last one, we'll do a Halloween-themed ice cream, and that'll be, what did I call it?
All I know is it's all the leftover candy from Halloween.
It's all the candy. It's multiple candy ice cream. So anyway, here we are. The ice creams, the main ingredient or the essential ingredient is what's probably wrongly called in the industry ice cream mix. It's a blend of milk, cream, and skim milk, and the one we use even has a touch of vanilla in it. It comes in bladders. They're 10 quarts, 2.5 gallons each, and they usually come 2 to a box. The boxes, the price is irrelevant when you consider how much money you're going to make making ice cream and selling ice cream. Okay? We good? So this is a 24-quart machine, which is the standard in the industry. Many people start off with a 6-quart machine, the CB350, but inevitably within your first year you'll go to this one. And the reasons we'll get into later. So this one for a full batch holds 1 bladder. That's how I created all the recipes in the book. However, we're going to make a half batch because after we all eat it, it goes in the freezer and it sits there. So we'll make a half batch. Do this. Okay. So a half batch is how many quarts of mix? 5. Good man. Now when you're measuring, see everything has measurements on it? Well, if you do it the normal way, when you grab these, by the way, choke them so that they don't. And now when you do it this way, you're going to have to bend down and watch the level. So a better way to do it is to turn it away from you, and you can still read that, and now it's easier to go right to 5 quarts.
There's 3 bladders if you needed it.
Okay? We good? All right. So we have 5 quarts. That'll be the beginning of this whole thing. Now the ingredients, these are all in the book, by the way. The ingredients for this one is what we call mix. Then we have vanilla. And thanks to my good friend Steve, we get the high price spread. And then we're going to use apple pie filling. No plug intended, but Duncan Hines makes real good apple pie filling. So we're going to use apple pie filling, some cinnamon, some golden raisins, and some graham crackers for our crust flavor. Okay? And you dump it all into your Ninja. See how it dumps?
It's coming out short.
Okay, you dump it into your Ninja.
Why the Ninja, Jeff?
What?
Why the Ninja? There's other blenders out there.
You're like the Ed McMahon of this show.
Always have been.
Why the Ninja? Well, it's too late for me to show you now, but the Ninja is a unique product. every blender, when I got into this business, I had a Vitamix, the king of those machines. And I noticed that the 3 blades were in the same position as a $30 Hamilton Beach blender. They're all sitting at the bottom. And if you know, when you start something, even with a good one like the Vitamix, it creates a vortex, but it really doesn't do the job. This guy, Sam Ninja, came up with a product, and what he did was he took the center thing, and instead of having 3 blades on the bottom, he put 2 blades here, 2 blades here, and 2 blades here, razor sharp blades, so that the instant you turn it on, you're getting 6 blades mixing this stuff, and it pulverizes. Later on, when we do the other ice creams, we're going to need to pulverize, and you'll see how it does that. It's an amazing machine and relatively inexpensive. If you watch the sales, $79. I always have 2 or 3. Not that they break. I've never had one break, but I get nervous. Okay, so we're putting in this stuff here, apple pie filling. What better product to use for apple pie ice cream than apple pie filling? All right, what else do we have to put in? Some cinnamon, a tablespoon.
A little
A
more.
little more?
There you go.
Okay. The raisins will add to the machine, and the graham crackers will add to the machine, so we're pretty well ready to do this. Now, normally, I think it's a good idea to add a little mix to this so that it really makes the job easier for the machine, and it infuses the mix right away with some of that. So we'll just add a touch of this. All right. That didn't take very long, did it? All right. So now we have our ingredients ready. And I always like to count. As much as I've done this, you still get waylaid once in a while. Your mind is thinking of something else, what you're going to do tomorrow, whatever. So I count the ingredients. I have graham crackers, golden raisins, cinnamon, pie filling, vanilla, and the mix. 6 ingredients. And then I like to say, well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm good. Okay, you get that? Okay. So we'll pour this in here, the door's closed. And this beautifully wide spout on top just makes your whole life easier. I've had experience with other machines, and the top is significantly smaller. And something as easy as that inevitably spills, or it takes a lot longer. Your arms get tired, it's heavy, especially when you're trying to do 10 quarts, which is what we normally do. Okay, what else? Let's add this. Ooh. I could have probably added a little more mix to this when we did it. Okay, let's add this. Now, I got into the habit, and he may disagree or whatever, but I turn the machine on because it's the world's greatest mixer. You know what a KitchenAid is, right? That stand mixer. That was the greatest mixer until this. This has blades going, the dasher, which is right behind Christie over there, these go at how fast?
Anywhere from 130 to 234.
234 revolutions per minute. Yes, sir.
Then why do I need a blender?
Why what?
Why do I need a blender if you can put everything inside there and mix it up?
Well, because the machine won't chop and it won't pulverize. It'll blend like this. If we put the cans of pie filling in there, it won't necessarily chop up all those apple pieces. In ice cream, in my world, the most important thing is the flavor. So I want that, the mix that we put in, the blend of milk and cream, I want that to be totally infused with flavor. And you'll notice when you taste the ice cream, I don't care about color, I don't care what the ice cream looks like, I don't care chunks in it, none of that bothers me. I care about two things in ice cream: incredible smoothness and flavor. Flavor number one. So I want the mix to be totally infused with whatever we're doing, and that enables you to do that. All right, so we'll put it on. There's a touch screen here, and it says, make ice cream or get help. Goodness knows we need the help, but we'll go forget ice cream. And now you have all the choices. This machine, I'm not selling the machines because we're barely friends. This machine enables you to make a wide range of ice creams, custards, gelatos, frozen custard. You can do all that with this, Italian ices and super premium ice cream, which is what we're going to make, or homemade as it's listed here. And now we'll start it up. And what you're going to hear is simply the motor. We haven't turned on the refrigeration yet, and you'll hear when that happens. But right now we're going to add this stuff to that. So pardon my back. See how good I am at this? It's because I feel bad showing you my back.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay? Yes, sir.
I noticed though the machine has two covers, one with the hole and then the solid.
Yes, that's a lawyer's thing, if I could be candid.
Okay.
They don't want you putting things in there like your hand or gravel or stuff like that. He's going to hate me for this. I take it off on my machines because you don't need it. I mean, we're professionals, aren't we?
Yeah. I was just making sure that it's not like to control, the grade of whatever condiments you're adding in.
No, it's
Okay.
really a lawyer's thing too. It's a CYA.
Safety thing. Okay.
And I'm sure I'm going to hear about this later from the boss, but now, in order to make our world a little easier, what we'll do to get it all out, you watching closely? We're going to put a little of this back in here. And then we're going to do this again so that we get every last drop. That should give us more stuff in there. Ah, pretty good. Okay, now we'll add the other stuff. We'll do it in order too. We'll add some vanilla. Normally I like to add 1 ounce of vanilla for 1 quart of mix. So how many ounces of vanilla should we add? Good crowd. So we'll add 5 ounces of this. Next up, cinnamon. We added that.
Should we have a measuring cup here?
What's that?
Should we have a measuring cup next to us?
Yeah, there's plenty of them here.
Oh, so you have a... You lose it.
Well, actually, truth be told, I do that on purpose to let you know that ice cream is both an art and a science. It's just like baking.
Yes.
My wife's an excellent baker, and she does measure everything, but she doesn't have to. She knows, and you'll know too. Okay, let's add our golden raisins. Why golden raisins? Because they're better. The darker raisins tend to get like little rocks in the ice cream. The golden raisins have a higher sugar content, and therefore they stay a little softer, a little, what's the word, malleable? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we'll add this now. How much should we add? Let's add the package. The package is 12 ounces. Can you have too many golden raisins in your apple pie ice cream? No. Graham crackers. Graham crackers. It calls for 12 ounces of graham crackers. Any questions? You have any questions?
No, but what you just did with the raisins, you can't do on any other machine because the opening is too narrow.
You can't do this either.
No.
But they're here because they know that this is the Rolls Royce. They're not here speculating.
So the machine will crush up the graham crackers on its own. You don't have to.
I'll tell you what.
Oh,
He asked, will the machine crack up the graham cracker?
yep.
Give me your hand for a minute. Let's put that, it's just an experiment. We'll see if that does it to your hand. Then we know it'll work with the graham crackers.
The lawyers are calling me now.
Got a little teeth, got a little teeth.
Is everything in there? Did we add all our stuff?
Cinnamon?
Yes? We added graham crackers, raisins, the cinnamon we put in, the pie filling, the vanilla, and the mix. We're good, right? Okay. Now we can turn on the refrigerant. When you turn this on, you'll hear the compressor go on. And that's what I wait for. I wait for the compressor to go on now, and then when I shut the machine, the compressor to go off. So listen carefully. That was quick, right? Now you know that the freezing has started. Inside the machine is a cylinder where we just dumped everything. And those blades go around and around, pressed to the outside of the cylinder, or in this case, the inside of the cylinder. And wrapped around this in the machine is refrigerating coils. And so this gets cold. It's stainless steel, but it gets cold. As it gets cold, those blades, the ice cream starts to form on the wall. The blades continuously at how fast? 234 revolutions per minute. That scrapes it off and brings it back into the middle. And then in a matter of 8 or 9 minutes, what do we have?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. But not just any ice cream. We have some kick-ass ice cream.
What would you not put in there? Like you wouldn't put candy or anything.
Question.
But what would you not put in there? Like you put the graham crackers.
His hand, I wouldn't put his hand in it.
Right, and you wouldn't put like hard candy in there or anything?
Well, wait till you see.
Okay.
Yes, you can put, now, he'll hate me again, and I'll hear about it later. You could actually put gravel in the machine. No, I'm serious. And it won't hurt the machine. As far as food products, my philosophy has always been I want ice cream to taste like the ingredients in it and from when I was growing up. So today, when we make candy cane ice cream, what do you think we'll use? And they're hard as rocks, right? So, why did you ask?
Because I've seen products added after you.
Products what?
I've seen things added after it's run, or now you're.
Good, great point. When do you put them in the Ninja first? When do you put them in the machine? Well, you think about it. It's kind of makes sense. We put them in the Ninja when our first consideration is flavor, because we want the smallest, tiniest particle of whatever we put in there to permeate the ice cream. After we get the flavor done from the pulverizing the ingredients and adding them to the cream, then we go for texture. Texture is when you would add it to the machine, because it's not going to chop it up completely. When you make Snickers bar ice cream, first you put the Snickers in there, then you hold back some and put them in here, so that people get the experience of great flavor of the ice cream, and then, ooh, what's that? Won't be his hand, it'll be a little Snickers bar. So, two things, good point. Flavor, texture.
Is there a time where you would add after you've run the ice cream and then you would add?
I don't know. Some people do.
Okay.
And you notice that when you see some people, as it's coming out, they're adding stuff to it. I don't see any need for that.
So just to add on to that, so there is no difference in product, like if you put, I don't know, chocolate versus marshmallow, or that's gonna sink to the bottom versus stay at top?
Well, that's another good point. Sometimes when the ice cream comes out of the machine, if you've added some heavier pieces, like some Snickers pieces or Reese's pieces, if you've added M&Ms later in the batch, they tend to go to sink. If that's the ice cream I'm making, what I'll do is after it comes out and I put it into these, I keep everything in 1 gallon containers, I put the lid on. When they go in the freezer, I turn it upside down.
Let it come back around.
Yeah. And then a couple hours later, right side up and you're good.
Okay, because I've had stuff with like coffee stuff and it's all at the
It's all at the bottom, right?
All at the bottom. It's like, okay.
When I make ice cream, I'm doing exactly what Jeff does, except I call it fruit flavor and fruit identity. The flavor here is all the ingredients he put in. If you were blindfolded and tasted it, you'd say, yeah, that's a particular kind of ice cream. It's pumpkin ice cream. But the identity is not there. So let's switch it over to Oreo cookie ice cream, one of my favorites. I put 1 bag of Oreo cookies into this machine. It's going to grind them up like a Cuisinart, nice chocolatey brown. And if you tasted it, you'd say, yep, that's Oreo cookie. Take the blindfold off and look at it, and you say, well, where are the pieces? You also eat with your eyes. So I want to have pieces. So while this is running, I'm over here with my bag of Oreo cookies, and I'm snapping it between my thumbs to break it into about 4 pieces. When it's ready, I'm opening the gate halfway. My flavor's already in here. It's Oreo cookie, because we just dumped the whole bag in whole. The second bag of cookies, I'm shaking in as pieces so that you see the identity that it's Oreo. I don't seem to have a problem with any sinking. Jeff and I pull the ice cream at different consistencies. He goes a little softer than I do.
That's why I may have a problem sometimes doing that. He pulls it harder. Wait, where are we going?
Yeah, that's right. And also, if you have a proper freezer, it's also not going to sink. It's not going to, because you're freezing the ice cream. In a shock freezer, it's going to freeze up faster, and you're not going to have the sinking. So yeah, I do put everything in. But like Jeff said, If you wanted to make sand ice cream, you could do it. You're not going to hurt the machine. Everything goes in. This is the only machine on the market that you can do that. All the others have a very tiny, narrow opening to prevent you from putting cookies in. And the reason they do that is their beaters, or what we call dasher, aren't strong enough to handle that load of 2 or 3 bags of Oreo cookies in the machine. So we can do that because we build them stronger than anyone else.
This is the Ninja blades, and don't even touch them because you'll bleed right away. They're so sharp. 2 on the bottom, 2 in the middle, 2 on top. And that's what does everything great. Why other people haven't done that in 100 years, I don't know. But they did it. And I guess because of us, they're selling a ton of these things. I went to a flea market, and a guy had 5 of them in boxes. The boxes were all torn for whatever reason. He had 5 of them. So I bought them for $140, I think, for all 5 of them.
That's a good deal.
That was a great deal.
So if you want them, they're in the trunk of my car. I'll sell them to you. So now we're going to see how we're doing here. It's been 7.5 minutes. How long does it take? When it's done, I'll tell you.
Can you overturn it?
You can over and underdo everything in life. This is a Zen moment here.
Yes.
Everything can be done too much and too little.
You had a question back there?
For me? What is the difference? Why do you like a colder product and you like a less cold product or something?
That's a great question. I don't think we've ever addressed that.
No, it's just personal preference. It doesn't make any difference in the texture of the ice cream. It's just when people say, how long does it take to make ice cream? I say approximately 8 to 9 minutes. Jeff might say 7.5 to 9 minutes. It's
And
just
you know, when you think
preference.
about it, when you pull it, there's almost an infinite amount of time you can pull it. You can pull it at 7:36. You can pull it at 7:38. You can pull it at 8:15. All those seconds will not affect it, but it's personal preference.
What will affect it is sugar content. The higher the sugar content of the ice cream, the longer it will take to freeze. Ice cream takes roughly 8 minutes. Italian ice, which is all sugar, is 18 minutes on this particular machine. So if you're making vanilla, you might be 7.5 minutes. If you're making salted caramel with lots of butterscotch and other junk in there, you might be 9 minutes. So the 8 minutes is an approximation. It's like when my wife bakes, she sets the timer for 20 minutes, but then goes and checks the pie. It might need another 3 minutes, or it might be ready then. The timing is, it's not always going to be the same. It's going to depend on the sugar content.
Question. Can you DIY the ice cream mix?
What do you ask?
Can you DIY the ice cream mix, make your own?
You can. No need to.
You'll never make it for as inexpensively as the dairy because they're doing 10 to 30,000 gallons at a time, and you're trying to make 2.5 gallons. You're going to be buying heavy cream in little half pints at the supermarket, and they're buying a tanker truck full. So you can't make it as low price as they can.
The question is for outside the U.S.
Same thing, you can make your product as long as you can get hold of the cream.
You can buy it outside of the U.S.
Yeah.
You can buy it frozen. You can buy the powdered version of it, which is viable. Okay, we ready? We're ready. Let's take a look and see if we're ready. We're ready. As Steve says, when it cuts off like a knife, then we're ready. Now listen. Okay, compressor's off. Let's shoot it into here.